let's try forearm stand. There are a couple of different ways to do this, okay? I'm going to show you a couple different variations. So the first one that you see pretty commonly is with the block. And for this one, you would have the block just in between the thumbs like this. So you've got the forearms down and the block in the L's of your hands, just like that, okay? I like this one because you can kind of press into the block to help you find your balance, but make sure your elbows are really rooted down into the mat so that you can find that space. We do a little bit of kicking for forearm stand, but we take our time. One thing to be aware of is making sure you're not doing this, okay? Try to hold the shoulders down the back. That's why we usually do a lot of shoulder opening before we attempt forearm stand, because we need quite a bit of open shoulders to do it. So for this one, you can be relatively close to the wall. I like to be a little bit of a ways away from the wall, not too far, because I'm going to use the wall to help me. I've got those elbows down, accounting for the fact that they'll roll out a little. Okay, tucking the toes, lifting up, just like downward dog. Walk the feet in. I'm trying to keep my gaze down, maybe in between my elbows. A leg lifts, I want to hug the inner thighs, bend the standing leg, and it's a gentle little hop. Okay, forearm stand is a slight back bend. Think of heart pointing down towards the earth, squeezing that block, working the toes together, knees together, finding core. Okay. Another option for forearm stand is using a dowel if you happen to have one of these at home. I love this variation, it's a bit weird, but it's fantastic because it actually allows the shoulders to open just a little bit more, which for some of us, it really helps us to find that place for the shoulders so that we can go up with a little bit more ease. So you're gonna be holding the dowel if you've got one, shoulders distance apart, and you're gonna have the backs of your hands on the ground, which is why this feels so weird, okay? But you're kind of pushing the dowel in with your hands to find that sense of support. So that comes right down at the wall, plugging the shoulders back, hugging belly in, tuck toes, come in, hug those inner thighs, light hops. Maybe you find the wall. Again, it's a slight opening of the chest, not too much. And we're pressing into that dowel, finding that strength. Looking down, maybe between the elbows or between the forearms. Forearm stand, classic version. Forearms are just like a number 11. Palms are facing down, and we're just kind of using the gripping of the hands to help us to find our balance. So this is classic version is really hardest. It's a little easier to do this with some props, but it depends on what you've got. This is excellent for shoulder strengthening and opening, really good for shoulder health, okay, but hard. So we come up into that dolphin dog, shoulders down. We try to get the shoulders over the elbows, not ahead, right over top. Okay, hug those inner thighs, little hops. Try to hop lightly. Try not to let the hands come together too much, pressing down, looking down, finding that balance. Aiming the toes. So if this is the center, right, of your foundation, you want to imagine your toes in line with that center. So they're just slightly behind you. So I like to think of this really as, it's not the lower back arching, it's actually the heart coming down. And that allows for that opening. So think upper chest and shoulders opening in your forearm stand.